show you how to use our arrangement calculator. This is a free tool, and what it means is that you can price your arrangements or your vases, your bouquets, and you can build a recipe arrangement that takes into account things like your VAT, your labour, and your markups of your flowers and any sundries. These can be generated in PDF, so they can be printed out. They can also be saved on here. When you use your price list, you put all your stems in. If next year you were to go through all your stems and up the prices, it would indicate on your saved arrangements whether they needed to go up, whether you really needed to look at that price. There are a couple of ways of doing this. You've got the quick and the detailed. Now, in the quick, you just give an amount for labour. It's not worked out on anything. The pricing for your stems would just go on what your markup is, what you have put in. When you put them into the ingredients list, you can actually add flowers as you go as well. And the same with the sundries. The quick mode applies markups and add VAT automatically. That would again be based on what your default is. If you wanted to give the more detailed stuff a go, you can actually pop there and it gives you a little bit more control over things. I'm going to use that now just to show you there. So we're going to go test bouquet. For the labour, we are going to do the retail price, and we want to do 20% of the retail price. Now, over here, I'm going to add my flowers. When you signed up, you can download a list of flowers, and they are based on the prices that I charge in my shop in Bouquet Flowers in Liverpool. Once you've got those prices, you can actually download it as a spreadsheet, change it to your prices and re-upload it. That's not a problem at all, but it gives you somewhere to start. If you haven't downloaded that, or you can't find the flower you're looking for in that list, you can add flowers, over here. And you could actually add your flower at this part, you put your cost price per stem and you put your markup in, and you can create them there on the fly. For the purpose of this, I am just going to cancel, and let's do, there we go. Right, so based on that, it is put in what my price is, and my markup was a very expensive abacanthus. I must have been doing something to show the change in price, but you get the gist. Now for this, I'm going to now put in how many of each flower I'm going to put in, like that. Now I've popped in my amount there. It has worked out what the cost price is, and based on that, it has worked out what my retail price is. Now over here, you will see that it has put in what that is. It is times it by 3, which is on my list, and then added the VAT on top. So it's given the complete price with the retail. So just be aware when you are putting what your markup is on your stems, that is a markup without VAT. So if you are times 3 to give a retail price with that, you need to put 2.5 in, which will then give you usual prices. So that is one of the more common reasons why people might think it's not calculating correctly. But that is because this is for people all over the world. So there are obviously different VAT rates and things like that. So we can't assume that you're a 20% VAT as we are in the UK. Then over here, I want to put my sundries in. So I'm going to put wrap, etc., which includes my box and everything. I'm going to pop that in. And then you can see here, it has given me what the total cost is, what my marked up price of my flowers is, what my marked up sundries is, what my labour is. Then it is showing me what the price it thinks I should sell it for, ex VAT, and then what the VAT is on top of that. So this is telling me I should sell that bouquet for £85. You're probably laughing there thinking, well, you couldn't sell that for £85. That is because I've got a odd price in this stem count here. Obviously you wouldn't be spending £2 on a stem of agapanthus, I hope, but it's giving you the idea of how it works. The other thing over here you can do is you can toggle this round price, and you can then change this to the nearest pound, and then it is rounding it, so you're not going to get a silly price point there. If, let's say, the markup was wrong here and you wanted to apply a global markup, you can undo that, and I could then say, actually my markup is 2.5 because I'm adding my VAT on there, and my sundries is 2. Then you can see there, then that overrides whatever the markup is that is in your recipe list there, and it changes the price accordingly. When you have created your arrangement, you can hit save. Then if you can print it out, if I click print there, you can choose a manager option or a staff option. I'm just going to do the staff option for this. You then have a choice to toggle over the ingredients, the images for the ingredients, if you have images there. And then I'm going to click generate PDF. Now, just to give you an example of what that looks like, there we go. My bouquet here it's got what all the flowers in, it's got them listed, it's got the labour time if I've popped that in my default for my business, and it's got the retail price. If I just come back here, if you have built arrangements in this and you want to pop those products into Digital Florists, our main software, you can actually copy the code here and transfer those arrangements over. There is a separate video for that if you're a Digital Florist customer. The other thing you can do, which is quite useful if you're doing a few arrangements, you can actually duplicate it. And if you're doing different sizes, this is usually doing variants. So let's say I was doing test copy large. I would then go on to that, and I would just tweak my price, my stem quantities accordingly, so that I wasn't having to add all of those different things for different variants. So hopefully you find that really useful, and hopefully that means that all your arrangements will be priced properly, taking into account your labour and your VAT, etc. So you won't be missing anything like that off.